parents listen to the information.
牛津一日游呀，必须要录上去。
有专业设备。
有。
I know we lack communication, but you've been lacking for a while, let that basement. Doing your thing so you can make it to those places. Get to the level we all know that you can take it. And you might wonder if it's worth it. It's not a question cause you're special, you deserve it. And at the end of the day, you still got this time to live. This is only the beginning, let's enjoy it to the end. Though sometimes inside you feel empty, we can make it right if you with me. So tonight we'll light up this city, hoping to find the time that we're missing. I hope we find this time that we're missing. Yeah. So let's set the vibration and make the rhythm feel like mental vacation. Yeah, destination to come with a little patience. We slow it down but never stop acceleration. No hesitation. Time and place, clock don't stop, no time to waste. I know you always worry about the mind of things, but I got what you need to give your mind a break. Though sometimes inside you feel empty, we can make it right if you with me. So tonight we'll light up this city, hoping to find the time that we're missing. I hope we find this time that we're missing. I hope we find it.
我
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back after our break. I hope you're all doing well. For those of you who don't know London very well, please do return to it at a later date. So hopefully, much of what you've read in the documents that I've circulated will ring some bells that you will be aware, even if it's tangentially aware of much of what we do. So please, can you just give me a quick indication in the chat, please, whether you did indeed receive the documents, because that would make a difference if people haven't. Strange, some people have and some people haven't. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. So what I'm teasing, and of course, is that whenever you wish to have access to the documents, please do, or some of our colleagues could help us by just letting us know if you can actually read it. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to try to move because there's a lot of questions coming through and I'm not sure I'm going to get time to get through the material and do the questions. So I'm going to go back to the material and then Jesse, I'll see if I can take some of the questions one by one towards the end. And I'm beginning to feel that we're not going to get to the digital portfolio today, so we might have to use the digital portfolio to next week, but let's see how we get on. So, so those of you who are in course A to F are but that's not your style, that's not your approach, that you have to go with what's true to you.
Of course, if you didn't get a chance to visit an exhibition online or in person over the last week, you are all curatorial students. Now you're be an expert and a subject matter talking about academic writing. You can use valuable objects and exhibits, but that style of writing is not the space of an exhibition because your average doctor and your face is something you just confused by.
Photograph on board a yacht particularly appeals to the crusader. Once
of this person, John Sheepshanks, absolutely. There's an additional in the audience connected with this object. What device or devices is being used in the interpretation of these two objects? Nice chunk of time. I asked you all to visit an exhibition, be it online or in person, and to pay particular attention to the ways in which the exhibits were written about, faces. But it's really interesting to hear that you visited one of those and what you made of it. Thank you. Next, Jessie, do you want to come in?
Yeah, so I just wanted to reference what Gabriella said about the Noguchi show, because me and Dalin, we went to the assistant curator talk held by the postgrad community, and then like during our tour and when we asked questions, we actually knew a lot more than what the exhibition text showed us. I think he said it was the first time that Barbican used this like little brochure kind of technique to show exhibition text. A lot more exhibitions used either PDFs or mobile phones or brochures after the pandemic to kind of spread out the audience, and we have individual paces when we read text. So me and some course mates, we went to Oxford to see the Tokyo exhibition, and then so they use the classic very small panels. And so what the problem is, like, everyone's crowded in the space and everyone's lined up
And that was at the Barbican, did you say?
Yeah, the Barbican.
I think it's quite common now when you go into an exhibition space to kind of be handed this kind of small, almost like A6 little brochure that kind of has all of that interpreted text in, and I think it is a really useful device. Also, it's a really nice kind of keepsake with the exhibition, if that's kind of part of the intention. But it was really interesting to hear you frame it within the context of COVID and COVID's impact on, or potential impact on exhibition design. Because you're right, I mean, I'm sure we can all remember before the pandemic, I remember going into so-called blockbuster exhibitions, and you would literally fight your way around the space just trying to catch a glimpse of the object, let alone the text. And so, yeah, I think you're right. I think having almost making it an individual experience is no doubt kind of shaped in some way from COVID, and actually making people, not inviting people to kind of gather. So that's another kind of interesting aspect to think about. Thank you, Jessie.
Images of the installation, so that helps. But if you've got an installation or a work of art that's quite complex in that way, it always helps to provide an image, and then you can just talk about it step by step by step. So one needs to try, right, everybody, together take notes. Great, it's lovely to see everybody, and thanks for coming to the platform. And yeah, I do acknowledge that it can be really difficult just having questions fired at you like this from me on this platform. The higher you go up in your career, the more people will be firing at you. It's jealousy, it's just human nature. The key is not to take it personally. Nothing is personal, it's all professional, okay? Right, so on the professional tip, let's make a start. Practice. That's absolutely beautiful, wonderful work, Jessie. Great start for us, I think, this afternoon. So let's see if we can carry on. I'll just go around the screen here. Do you want to take one of the others? So we've got ideas, we've got objects, and we've got people. Jessie covered some of the people actually by talking about sort of the audience and accessibility, but there are other aspects of the audience that you might want to cover. So what would you like? People, objects, or ideas? Take your pick.
It's actually a lot.
Some grips are dirty, and you have to clean them before grabbing them. To clean a grip, reach out and hold the grip button in range. Once clean, your hand will grab the grip automatically.
see. So some of them are very conventional, like these. So it's not a particularly easy book to read. It's really hard to ever find anywhere that you can fully open it out. I had to put it on the floor in the old college library yesterday to fully show it to the students I was working with. And despite the fact that it's contained in this conventional cover and it looks like a conventional book at first, I actually think that the concertina as a book form is way more familiar. Like land art, so like all that's nature and artists using video as well as sort of those kinds of new technologies, so VHS, recorder, cassette, or camcorder that became available. Video art.
Doors closing. First floor. Doors opening. Doors closing.
Like straws.
It is straw, isn't it? Yeah, or something straw-like. Is it? Sorry, my hands are clean. Oh, it's quite delicate, yeah.
About how it did colour the walls and these kind of settings which the paintings do what they like. This was I'll show you an image
happy 哦，好开心哦！
你要滑吗？
到时候再来。
好，
这个还能买到票吧？
可以，你就尽量不要周末来就好。好看吧？
Say, yes, that sounds fine, or something like that in the chat, so that I know that you're happy to continue with the class. Good. In general, I'll tell you guys, because you seem, at the moment, you seem very energetic and it seems like you're ready to communicate. In general, it's really nice for me to hear from you guys. If it's a few words in the chat, or if you want to put your hand up and ask a question, or anything like that, it's really lovely for me to hear from you, because as you know, this online thing is a bit strange. But nice, very, very nice to hear from you at the moment. Right, where is my PowerPoint? Here it is. Okay, so reading. I'm going to give you a link to a Padlet. I don't know if David has shown you Padlet before. We have one for the language class now. By the way, if you keep the link to the Padlet, you can look at it any.
So
yeah, okay.
Maybe I want to find some really typical things in performance art and some news, like in some art forms, the curator how to put the performance art in this exhibition, or how to display it. And actually I didn't finish my research because I think performance art is a very special part in contemporary art, so it's quite difficult.
So essentially, what are you asking of that area of study? So I think this is, I think the document that David sent is very helpful. Hopefully you've all had a chance to read that, which sort of explains how to pose a research question and think about what you're basing that question on. So this is what we need to begin to see. So I think for saying you're interested in performance and where it happens, I think it's too broad. I think it needs to be focused. Yeah, that's right. So I don't know how you do that. It depends on your interests really, and what you're reading. But have you got what's the sort of the current text that you're most interested in around performance? What have you been reading that's sort of inspired your thinking about performance?
2个带子饺，2个烧麦，2个豉汁排骨，2个凤爪，2个豉汁排骨，2个凤爪。
Why would I get a kickback? Because.
然后一个这
You
个
should have expected it. How can it be that hard? It's just weird, but it's not. I jumped down also. You shouldn't have answered that. I was gonna say.
You know those like 中国古代的那种 like.
Andy, you suck. That's kind of cute. These would be.
Yeah, so for my point of view is that the distributed model's a very low cost platform, and it's very accessible to all sorts of audiences. So it's a very inclusive platform. Like the normal way to think about it is maybe like using YouTube live stream, and then there's a comment section, and then there's a performance at the same time. So we have different kind of. Gabrielle?
Yeah, sort of we were chatting about and kind of how the distributed model could be a platform to communicate